Today we are going to make a kimono jacket, a free and simple kimono jacket, and I'm using 3 yards of fabric here. I'm using 3 yards of fabric. So the first thing I'm going to do is you can make use of 2 yards or 2.5. My 3 yards is even excess. I will still reduce some at the end. Maybe I will use it for the band. So it depends on the length you want it, how long you want it, or how short you want it to be. So here is 3 yards of fabric, and this is my 3 yards of fabric. This is my 3 yards of fabric. I'm going to fold into 2 equal parts. Here is my 3 yards. I folded it into 2 equal parts. Here's my 2 part. This is the back side of the fabric. So 2 equal parts, and I'm going to fold it again this way. I'm going to fold it again. I hope you are getting what I'm doing. Here is folded. This part is folded into, that is into 4. Remember, after my 3 yards, I folded into 2. Then I folded this way. After folding like this, I did not fold it like this. I folded it in this way because of the length. Because if you fold the other way, it will reduce your length, and you have an opening on the shoulder part. You know, it's a cut together kimono jacket. Yeah, it doesn't have an opening on the shoulder part. So here, this place is folded. That is, this fabric now is folded into 4, and this part of the fabric is folded. This other part is also folded. So now we are going to draft our kimono dress. First, I'm going to take my back depth. Use the back depth to draft. Let me bring it closer. Here is our back depth, and I'll be making use of 1.5 inches, 1.5, and the neck width I'll be making use of 3 inches, 1.5, 3 inches, and I'll curve. Okay. So from here, I'm going to take my bust point, and I'm using bust point of 10.5 inches. Bust point. This is my bust point. 10.5. And on this line, I'll divide my bust into 4. And I have 9.5. 38 divided by 4, 9.5. 9.5. Then for the ease, you know, this kimono is a free kimono. For the ease, for the freeness, it depends on how free or tight you want it to be. So I'm going to add extra 3 inches. I'm going to add extra 3 inches on this part. You can add 2, you can add 3, you can even add 4 or 5. It depends on how free you want it to be. Remember, let me make sure my 10.5 is intact. Okay, here's my 10.5. So on this part, I'm going to take the roundness of my sleeve, and the roundness of my sleeve is 12 inches plus 1 inch. So I'm going to use 13 inches divided by 2, that is 6.5. Please make sure this part is equal, so that one side of your sleeve will not be bigger than the other side. So 6.5 here. But because I still want it to be a little bit free, I'm going to use 7 inches. Then I'll take a curve to meet this point. I'll take a curve from here, from this 7 inches. I'll take a curve to meet this point. There is a cut together kimono, and it's a free dress. Are you saying that? We are going to take this point from here to here. We are going to take it all through the gown length. So here I have 12 points. Yes, I have 12.5. I have 12.5, so I'm going to take 12.5 to the length of my gown. And the length of my gown, I'll be making use of 45 inches. That 45, hemming is inclusive. I can make use of 2 inches for hemming. So like I said, it all depends on you, if you want it to be longer or shorter. So I'm going to make use of 45 inches. Here's my 45. So I'm going to take my 12.5 to meet the 45 inches, 12.5. I used to my 12.5. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out and follow the cuff to your sleeve. Follow the cuff. Are you saying that? Then let's cut out our back neck. You know this neck, I drafted the back neck. 1.5 for the depth and 3 inches for the width, for the neck width. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut the front neck and make an opening on the front. This looks like a normal gown, so I'm going to cut out the front neck. Okay, so please make sure this part here, make sure is equal so that you don't have a one-sided neck. Make sure you arrange everything together. So I'm going to cut out the front neck. What I'm going to do is take my ruler from my neck width to any part I want it to stop, because you know there will be an opening here all through. So just watch what I'm doing. See where it ends. Are you seeing? I'm going to cut from here to that line, then I'll open the remaining part of it. Just like a V line. Your ruler should be slanted. Then I'm going to open up the remaining part of the dress. Okay, here. You can just trim out. To make it even. Trim out a little bit, like quarter of half an inch. Okay. And our kimono dress is, trim out this part too. Just make sure there is no sharp edge. So what I'm going to do now is to sew. I'm going to sew the sleeve. I'm going to fold like 1 inch. I'm going to fold 1 inch and sew, and fold the other side 1 inch and sew. But before then, I want to cut out my band. If you don't want to fold the neckline, if you don't want to fold the opening to the neckline, if you don't want to fold it, or if you don't want to use bias on this, you can actually use band to turn it. So what you are going to do, if you are using band, if you are not using a bias, if you are using bias, you are going to measure from the neck down to the gown length, okay, and times it into two. You know it's folded into two, or you open up and make sure it's round. But to make it easier, since it's already folded into two, you are going to take your measurement from your neck, you take it down to your length, to your gown measurement, and times it by 2. And times by 2, okay? So let's make sure. And you can actually use another fabric, like a plain fabric. You can use pink, You can just select any color from your material and use your the plain fabric. You can use any plain fabric of your choice and use it to make your gown. So I'm going to measure round. And please, it is better there is an excess than to have shortage. It is better to have an excess than to have shortage of band. I have 49 here. So 49 times 2 is what? 49 times 2 I think is 98. Yeah? 49 times 2, that is 98. It means my band, I'm going to use a band of 98. My leftover fabric, the one I cut out from my kimono. So I'm not wasting it. I'm going to use 3 pieces to cut the band, then join them together. Remember, I said the band, we are cutting a band of 4 inches. So on 4, that means I'll be cutting a band of 2 inches. Unfold. I'll be cutting a band of 2 inches. And our band length, I said it's 98, right? So these 5 pieces of fabric is into 3 places. So I'm going to join them together. Okay, here is 35. The times 3, that is 105. So let's make use of this one because you know we are going to join the fabrics together, and it's better for me to have excess. If there's any excess, I can easily trim it out. So here I'm going to use 2 inches. I think this is the waist of fabric. Let me shift it. I think it's better like this. Unfold 2 inches. If you are not folding, 4 inches. That is what I'm doing here. I normally like folding it so that it won't be that difficult to cut out. This is 4 inches. So I'm going to, if you have a gum stay or a cloth gum, you can attach it to it and iron. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is to join these pieces together to make up a long band. To make up a long band, I'm going to join them together. I added cloth gum to my fabric and iron. You can use gum stay. You can use cloth gum. I use cloth gum. I iron it together. Then I folded 1/2 inch on both sides. 1/2 inch on both sides and iron. Then I folded it into 2 and iron. That is what I did. This is for my band. And for the fabric, you can see how long it is. You can see how long it is. If it's excess, you can easily cut out the only place I joined is the side, the seam. The down part is still like that. So it's after attaching our band, that is when I'll fold my hem. So what I'm going to do now is to attach my band and fold my hem. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. You start from the down part to pin. When you pin this 5 inch I folded, you pin them or you sew them. Since it already has a line here, you can sew them. Then after sewing all around this 1/2 inch, then you turn over and sew the other 1/2 inch. And sew the other 1/2 inch to the fabric. I'll be right back. Here is our final look. See, I've added my band all around, you see, and I've folded the hem, I've sewn the hem. I'm going to wear it now to show you how it looks like. So try this and